everyone. I am doing YouTube Pagan Challenge week 39. As normal, I put the question in the description box below. Let's see. This week's question is, what does shadow or darkness mean to you? And we have Princess on my lap. She decided to lay down right as I started to talk, so she's here too. I want to start with, to me, it depends on the context that you're using those words, right? Shadow, darkness, I mean, are you talking about the thing cast by the sun when I walk outside that's on the ground? Or, you know, I mean, it just depends on the context. I know some people don't like to equate darkness with evil or bad, and I try not to, but you can see how it's helpful to use the word like the dark, you know, if you, my darker side, or stuff like that. You understand what it means when I say that, even though if you might not want to equate the dark with, like, I wouldn't say, to me it's two totally separate things. Like, dark outside, it's dark, doesn't to me mean it's bad outside. It means there's no, the sun's gone down, or, you know what I mean, or it's stormy and, like, you know, the sun's covered up, or what have you. It's a totally different context. It's all based on the context of those two words. Now, let's see, shadow, let's say we can get like movie-ish and go, he's fallen into shadow, which could be, you know what I mean, that he's fallen asleep, he's died, he's chosen a different path, a evil path or a darker path, you know what I mean? So that kind of thing. You can say darkness, that person's dark, or they have a darkness about them. That could mean a couple things. It could mean that they're, you know, you think they're bad, or you could think they're dark, like they have a more darker look at things. You know what I mean by that? You know, some people you meet are just dark in general, meaning their aura, or how they would attack a problem or a situation or anything, how they would deal with it. Their first instincts are not necessarily what we would say would be light. You know what I mean? If you get my meaning there. I mean, it's the same thing as light and good, you know what I mean? When you equate those two together, like, I don't always think the light's good. I mean, obviously, being in the middle of the desert with no clothes on, light is not going to be good. You're going to die. So, you know what I mean? It's just all on the context and the use of the word and the situation and what have you. So, to me, I don't really ever have to think about it. Like, I don't usually say, if I'm talking about somebody else, to somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm trying to explain someone, I don't usually use those terms, shadow or dark, or even their actions. I don't even explain actions with using those words. I usually will just say, they're not a good person, you know what I mean? Or whatever. I usually don't associate with people that I get that vibe from, or that I know that are like that. If your first instinct is something that I don't agree with, I'm not going to call you dark or whatever. I'm just not going to hang around with you. I'm just not going to be associated with you or talk to you or what have you. You know what I mean? I had, this is looking back, like, and just for example, I used to work at this hotel. This has been a while ago. I think I was making videos then, or maybe no, I hadn't. I don't think I had. But anyway, sorry, I'm playing with my dog's face. When I was back there, we were in a restaurant, and we had a lot of times where we had an older crowd, like an elderly It was because of the specials that we ran and the groups that, because it was a convention center. So the groups that were in and stuff like that. I ran the restaurant, and it was like a job in between jobs, and it was horrible. But it got me out of where I was, so that's why I took it. And I was there for a really long time, like 6 years. Anyway, so we had one time an older gentleman. Our front of our restaurant used to be elevated, so when you approached us from like the lobby, our door was there, and you could see in because it was all like open, like windowed kind of, but not like windows. It's kind of like open, just with a wall that's waist high, basically, and there's booths on the inside so people could look out and look at the lobby. But you could look into. But our door, they remodeled, but before that it was wooden. We had like a wooden, so there were steps to walk up, like 3 big steps, those really oblong weird steps, and it was rounded, and so you walked up, and we were up there, and we had a buffet behind us, and our podium was there. Okay, and we had 2 dining rooms. We had a smaller side and a really large side. We usually always sat on the large side. But when you go down, it was also 2-3 steps down to get into either side of the dining room, because this whole middle spot was elevated. Now, our register, we used to be like right here, right at the top of these stairs, and this gentleman came up, and I swear my story is going to make sense to you. This gentleman was standing at the top, and he wasn't paying attention. He was an older gentleman, like, having difficulties. And he went to get his wallet, and while he was trying to situate, he was balancing, and he stepped backwards off of the stair and fell and hit his head on the ground in the dining room. So when I say people's first instinct, my first instinct, unfortunately, was, oh Lord, because I was like, I know, oh, this is going to be a big mess. I hope he's not hurt. I didn't even want to look, and I was on the other side of a podium, so I had to walk around the podium. But my busser was there, and the first thing that the busser said to us when he was laying on the ground and people were gathered, trying to see if he was okay, was we should run his pockets. And honestly, I think that's where I don't know, is it being naive? That would have never crossed my mind. Never, ever in a million years would I have thought that. I mean, and I play video games where that's what you do. You kill the bad guy and you take their loot. Which doesn't make any sense. So I'm totally against it, but I would never think about it that way. And that was his first instinct. Not even to see if he was okay. We should run his pockets. So to me, that's a darker side. You know what I mean? On how you associate in life, and he thought it was funny, and I just did not think that was funny. I'm like, the guy, you didn't even ask if he's okay. It was just, I just don't understand that wavelength, when that's where their mind goes immediately. You know what I mean? I could see later on, I mean, if you were making sick jokes, but this was his first instinct when the guy hit the ground and was hurt. You know what I mean? Not to, what happened, or is he okay, or even to check on him or anything. It was to steal from him. And I just don't see that. I've also seen that in a couple of videos before where people have been recording, and that one guy I think it was at a Walmart, and he had a seizure and he fell, and while he was seizing, some guy walked up and took his wallet. And I was just like, those are the kind of, that's dark to me. That's just, you can't fix that. You can't unteach that. Are you okay? I had to set her down because after a while, like sitting here with her on my legs, if I'm sitting with one leg up, and so I can balance her, and she's not super light. So, and I don't want to screw up my back, which I need to check because I need to soon go to the chiropractor. But anyway, so that's my way of thinking about, I turned on my camera. That's my way of thinking about it. You know what I mean? And that's the only time I would think that I would use that term that he was dark. But it was probably not. I would just probably think he's a bad person. You know what I mean? Now, also, you can say that somebody is working on, like, shadow work. And that has, like, a whole meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on how you take it. Some people would take it that they're working on their evil side or what, you know what I mean, or whatever. But usually it means to work on things that you are hidden. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I take it. Issues that you know you have that aren't in the open and you need to work on, that kind of thing. And it doesn't mean necessarily that they're things that make you a bad person, but maybe they're like, I need to work on my self-image or my, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below, or social media. I have all the links on my channel. And let me know what your ideas of shadow and darkness are, and see if they differ. Otherwise, I just usually, I don't really like use those words like in my vocabulary as a everyday thing. You know what I mean? But I do understand the meaning of them, or I could understand the context. You know what I mean? So, I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Blessed be.